Good morning. Welcome to Coffee Chat with David and Kyla Knight.
God, you're in mid-bite.
I just took a bite of biscotti.
That's hilarious. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Today is Thursday, April 23rd, 2020.
Woo!
So thank you so much for being here. Make sure you put the hashtag Hello Nights, hashtag Cup of Awesome.
If you're watching the replay, hashtag Hash Browns.
And you could also maybe put like a hashtag Happy Birthday David Knight, because guess what? It is his birthday today.
It's my birthday dance.
Is that it?
That's it. You like it? It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the excitement happening around here right now.
That's about as good as it gets.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah. No, that doesn't.
That doesn't go back. Okay, go
yeah.
back.
See, you're learning too.
I'm learning
Yeah.
the buttons.
It's it's funny because we've been since this whole shelter in place and COVID-19 stuff, we're doing so many virtual meetings, so many online chats with people.
Wow.
And so we're trying to figure out how to make it all streamlined, and we're using these little quick keys and hot buttons and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
Technology is so fun.
It's a blast.
But happy birthday, honey.
Oh, thank you, darling. I appreciate it. We've got several people. Let's see. Jeff Arp, good to see you.
Yes.
Toddy, Bentley Burns. All you guys say.
That's fun.
Yes, it's my 27th birthday today. Let's go with that.
It was several years ago.
Ouch. You didn't have to say several years ago like that. That's hurtful.
It was.
It was though. No, I am 29. So
there you go. Illusion.
Oh, that's right. Well, we have an awesome guest lined up today. We're going to get to him in just a moment. But before we do that, we have mentioned that we're doing these virtual magic shows.
Yes.
And some people have wondered what is the experience like with a virtual magic show.
Do you want to explain what it is?
Yeah, I was about to.
Oh, good.
That helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Before we talk about experience.
So, one of the
Aren't
things...
you glad we talk about all this ahead of time? We're so well planned.
We're so professional.
We hardly talk in the morning, and then it's like, what are we doing?
Well, I have to let you get through your coffee, and sometimes you just dump it on the floor. So
stop it. Once.
Anyway, so with all this sheltering in place and virtual meetings, virtual things like that, we knew that we kind of needed to devise something that people could use on a video call, video conference, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And we decided that I think our real joy is being able to be live with people. Mm-hmm. and do our actual show live.
Right.
And so
on stage, lights and everything else.
Yeah. And so we didn't want to take away from that experience. So what we did is we actually filmed it's about a 20-minute long show. Mm-hmm. And it's all stuff that we don't do in our normal show.
Yeah.
But stuff that really works kind of well in a video environment.
We haven't had a chance to do.
Yeah.
In a performance before. So this was really fun for us.
It was a
creative outlet.
Yep.
And it's something to bring joy and wonder into homes, a little magic into homes when people can't get out to a theater or any other place to actually watch anything live.
Exactly.
Person. So we're so excited about this project.
Well, and the other piece of that too is, it's hard to really. A big thing that we like to try and convey is kind of our personality, and it's one of the reasons we do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of what we do, and it's hard to convey personality if you're doing magic on video and you're just trying to fool people or just try to. And
then there's the whole delay thing, which is also fun, right? And you can't hey, pick a card. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Or people like, I can't actually touch the card. What are you doing?
So we developed this pre-recorded show, and then we combine it with a live Q&A. So then people get to kind of know who we are, and they get to ask questions and all that sort of stuff. All that to say, we did one of these the other day, and it was a lot of fun. We've done a few now. And where did I did not put that in the thing. I thought I had. Okay. But anyways, so we just had Pete Sutton from the Compass Church in Illinois had us on Sunday night with his group, and he sent over a really wonderful.
Well, what was it kind of even better with them is because they're a multi-site church.
Right.
This is one thing that they could all come together for an event without coming together.
Exactly. Exactly. So anyway, so he was very kind and sent over a really beautiful video review and I thought I'd play that for you guys since a lot of people have asked, what is this experience like? And so anyways.
And then we'll get to our guest.
And then we'll get to our awesome guest. Yeah. So here's Pete.
Hey, Pete Sutton here at the Compass Church. I just want to thank David and Kylie Knight for joining our youth ministry on Sunday night via Zoom. Their virtual magic show was amazing and fun and creative and interactive like I never imagined it could be. They kept our kids' attention and engaged them fully. And at the end, the Q&A time that we had with them was just really special and inspiring for our students. I just can't begin to express how grateful I am for their partnership, for the ministry as a couple, and for their willingness to really bless our group. I would highly recommend connecting with them in any way and partnering with them for ministry. God just used them to bless our group, and I'm sure he will do the same for you. Thanks, David and Kylie. Appreciate you both.
So kind.
Aw, thanks, Pete.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Well, and Pete is an amazing ministry leader out in Illinois, doing some awesome work there. But today we have another amazing ministry leader.
Yeah, from a different state.
From Tennessee.
This is great.
Yeah. Jay Barbier is the missions director. I hope I said that right. He can nod his head. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Cool. For the Tennessee Baptist Missions Board. And I think I got that right too. We'll find out in a moment. But anyways, please welcome our good friend Jay Barbier.
Woohoo!
And he's unmuted and he can talk.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Hey,
Technology
Jay.
at work. What is up, brother?
Hey, man, doing good. Happy birthday, bro.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
We got lots of comments there, too.
Yeah, we get several comments from that. Man,
good to see you.
I love that beard. I cannot grow that. What?
I shaved last night and it came back this morning, man. It's crazy. Hey, look,
I shaved 3 days ago. This is what I get.
Yeah, funny story is when I went on my first youth trip as a chaperone, that's where I think God had been calling me into ministry for several years. Mm-hmm. And it was at that trip, then I took a 2-week vacation. At the time I was a bread man. And when I got, when I finished the youth trip, I just felt like, man, I think God has solidified and called me into youth ministry. And so I went to Disney World the next week, and my wife, I started growing a goatee, and my wife laughed and she was like, okay, we'll try it. I went back to church the next Sunday, and so many of my friends laughed at me. They're like, they brought me colored pencils. They said, hey, you want me to help fill it in for you? And so over time it's come out great.
That's funny.
Well, it looks good on you, man. It looks good. I like it. Well, thanks for joining us today, man. I'll be honest with you. When all of this stuff hit, you were one of the first people on my mind, because I know, right as we kind of hit this shelter in place, this kind of don't go anywhere, don't do anything, don't gather in groups of more than 50 people, you guys were planning a huge event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was difficult, man. We had about a 2-month stretch of unbelievable, heavy social media interaction. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm to the point now where I'm so tired from just so much time on whether internet, social media, computer, because it's YEC. It was supposed to be March 15th, and it's a 2-day event in Nashville where it'll go anywhere from 5 to 7, 8,000 people will come to Nashville. It's a youth evangelism conference, YEC. I got my hat on. And for days leading up to the event, it was unbelievably scary because we hear all this talk, but really nothing in the U.S. had been shut down yet. Nothing had happened. And one of our keys that we try to fix on is, number one, we're going to promote the name and fame of Jesus. And so this event, usually every year, we will see 600 to 800 students get saved. And that's huge for local churches, because this isn't something where this is where all the big mega churches come. See, most of the big, larger churches, they can do all this ministry on their own. But what we do is we key into those 90% of our churches in Tennessee that are 150 or less. Now, everybody's welcome, but we're trying to do an event where we're going to preach Jesus. We're going to worship Jesus. We're going to let these kids have an amazing, great time. They fellowship with one another. But the key factor is we're going to preach Jesus, and they're going to give them an opportunity to respond to the gospel. But what was hard for us was days up to the event. We kept saying, because everybody was asking us, hey, are you going to cancel the event? Or is this still going to happen? Or are our kids going to be safe? And we're like, hey, everything's a go. And then the
Yeah.
Wednesday night before the event is when the presidential address came on, and they said they don't want any large gatherings. And then minutes later, we hear that the NBA season had been postponed or canceled for a couple of days. And then when we were kind of relying on the SEC tournament that was happening in Nashville, thousands and thousands of people were going to that. And it was across the street from the venue that we were at. But when they ended up canceling that with no people able to come, we knew that we didn't want to just be the Lone Ranger out there trying to do something. Because if one person were to get sick at our event and then go somewhere else in Tennessee and get a sweet little lady sick, it's just not worth it. And so I had the privilege of, I have a great leadership team, and we all made the decision, but our executive director really made the decision for the safety of others. And it was hard because you lose a lot of money. But the truth is, we don't do this for the money. It's not about the money. It's about caring for people. And if God has called us to love him, and as we love him, we love others, I really believe we made the right decision, especially now looking back. It's so much easier to look back on events and say, okay, hey, this was a wise decision. Because at the time I was weeping, I was upset, because I spent over 1 year putting everything together and everything was done. And then all of a sudden the day, really 2 days before the event, it's like, okay, it's not going to happen. It was hard, but this has happened now for everybody.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, well, and I think you're absolutely right. I mean, if we're gonna show God's love, we have to be caring and concerned about others, and we can trust that He's got us in His control, and He's going to take care of us. But we still have a responsibility. So I think you made the right choice.
No doubt, no doubt.
And I'll never forget, like I said, leading up to this, you were on my mind because you and I had just had a conversation, I don't know, two or 3 weeks before, and you're like, hey, send me some information. And I was going to, but then I'm like, oh, I know he's got this coming up, so I'm going to wait till he's past YEC.
And he's got enough going on right
so
now.
Everything else, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. I feel so bad for him. So man, but well, you're doing good work out there, so we appreciate that. You want to ask that one?
Well, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
So how is your family adjusting to this whole craziness going on?
My wife is a special education teacher, and so she is in kind of giving a little bit of my story. I have my son's 18; he's graduating high school. It's supposed to be this month, and so that's been difficult in a sense. But not only do I have my 18-year-old son, his name's Caleb. I have a 16-year-old daughter, Mary Claire. She was born with Down syndrome, and that was one of the most pivotal changes and moments in our life. And that's when my wife went back and got her, continued her education to specialize in special education. And so she's been a teacher for a long time now, over 16 years. And that was huge. And so there's been a lot of change. My wife really misses her interaction with students and really families, because she feels like she was called by God to be a teacher, because she's able to love kids, help teach them, and show the love of Christ through action, through deed, and even have conversations when there's an opportunity. But our family, it's been good, but within 2 days after all this happened, we had 2 pipes burst in our house, flooded our living room. We've had to do a complete renovation. But when you look on the bright side of things, we got new floors. It's been a lot of hectic work. And honestly, when you're trapped in a house and there's disorder, my wife and I are big time extroverts, but it really does. It hampers just the situation to where, man, we can become very cross. We can become very bad attitude, but it's helped us to get a lot of things done. We've worked very hard as a family. We've had to welcome people into our home. And that's scary when, you don't know who's sick, who's gotten what. But it's also helped us to engage in gospel conversations when people enter our home. And it's been good, because people say, hey, what do you do? Well, then I tell them, hey, I'm my job title, I'm a youth specialist for the mission board, to where my job is to tell people about Jesus. And I go and interact with churches and help promote the name and fame of Jesus. And so I love it when people ask me, hey, what do you do? And it opens up a gospel conversation.
And that's one of people's favorite questions. So I just love that too. Yes. It's one of our favorites.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you do, like, I mean, I remember the first time we met in Chattanooga. Yes. And you just exude Jesus, like, in your whole demeanor. It's a beautiful thing to watch. So.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. So,
it's been taught and modeled by others, man. And so I caught it from other people.
Nice. That's awesome. So what do you feel?
It's a good virus to have.
It is a good virus. That's the good virus to have. That's right. Spread that germ. What do you feel are the benefits we might see coming out of this whole pandemic thing?
The truth is, as a student leader, and even as when I was a youth pastor, my greatest desire was not for people to just show up to church, but how could I, if I'm excited about Jesus, passionate about Jesus, wanting people to learn what I'm teaching, and this is what the Word of God says, it's not really a lot of joy for them just to come be entertained through me, so to speak. My hope and desire was always, how can they bring this back home? How can they bring it to their neighborhood, that I would actually see kids in their home reading the Word, talking with mom and dad, talking with their brothers and sisters, maybe sharing this on social media. And we always had a few students that would be engaged in this. But now we are seeing people literally, their only opportunity to worship, their only opportunity to engage in small group is through media, through the internet, through just so many different avenues, but they're doing this in their home. We've heard things from in London, England, where you can't find a Bible anywhere. And this is one of the most atheistic places in the known world. If all over the country, if you go to Walmart and different stores, you can't find scripture. It's because so many people were so quick to go, okay, I want to go buy a Bible. What's going on? Now, granted, I don't know if we're in the end times. I think, it's, people always say, hey, we're one day closer. The truth is, I'm not as much worried about the end times as I am is worried about, man, God has called me to love him and to be engaged in the gospel and tell other people about the gospel. So I don't care what happens later. I just know that now, in the moment, I better help people understand the truth of the gospel and who Jesus is.
Always and forever.
I love that. Yeah, one of the things we love to preach is that we are meant to be agents of restoration. The afterlife is the afterlife, and the end times are the end times. But we have a task and a mission here now, and that's what we need to be about.
God reflectors.
That's good.
And God reflectors, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move into our favorite time, which is our lightning round that we call 5 questions. 5 questions.
That's new for everybody who's watching.
We have a new opening intro thing. All right, so we're all on screens right now. What are you binge watching right now?
Actually, 2 nights ago, my wife and I watched Waco. And it was, I think we spent over 6 hours. Now, I will say, be very careful. There's some foul language in that, but it opened up some great conversation with my 18-year-old son. Now, my son loves Jesus, but anyway, just a lot of great philosophy questions. But that was one of the main things. But for me, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I read a lot, and so presidential is the thing I've been listening to. It's a story of every president on Apple Podcast, or I guess on any podcast. It has been amazing.
Wow.
I'll have to check that one out. I'm gonna write that one down. Waco is the story about David Koresh and his Branch Davidian compound. And I showing my age, I remember when that all went down, and that was some crazy stuff.
I think I was in high school. It was crazy when all that happened.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Cool.
All right, G, if you could have any other job than the one you have right now, what would it be?
Okay, I have always said this. When I got married on my honeymoon, we went to Disney World, and that was my second trip, and it was my wife's first trip. But one of the things I noticed was I was like, man, everybody's happy here. And I've always said that I think Disney World is like it's just a taste of what I think what heaven could be like. And please understand that this is not anything about religiousness from there.
What are you saying here, Jay?
it's when you go around, you see people smiling, you see everything's clean, everybody's happy. But I always said I would love to be a bus driver at Disney just because you get to see everybody's faces. But in all honesty, I think I love what I do. But if I could do anything else that I'm passionate about, it would probably be a travel agent. Like I love traveling. I love just helping people to find that joy of just to go do something fun.
Yeah. You could be a Disney specialist travel agent.
Hey, that would be awesome. I would love that.
Yeah.
What is traveling?
Yeah. I think we're all a little upset right now because man, that's my life. I know that's y'all's life. And I will say that I have really enjoyed so much time at home with my family. I think at the end of this though, we're all gonna be like, hey, we're all taking a trip somewhere by ourselves.
Exactly.
Yes.
We need some time. But we've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed diving in scripture together, reading the word, doing devotions together. It's been great as a family.
That's making the most of it. I love that.
Yeah. I should introduce you to, there's a guy named Stephen Barr, who is a pastor, and he runs a church called, what's it called? I think it's called the Castmates Church. But it's for Disney employees. And it's like
if he ever needs me to come in and speak for him, I would be honored, and I would love to do that.
I'm going to see about hooking you guys up. Look at
that smile. Yes.
It's a taste of heaven right there.
It is.
Okay, so, when we get out of this, we're going to get to go back to restaurants and hang out. But right now, all you can do is pick up your order and take it back home. So what is your to-go order right now?
Man. We have a Chewy's. It's a Tex-Mex restaurant.
Yes.
Here in Murfreesboro.
Yep.
They have some kind of, it's like a jalapeno ranch.
The boom sauce.
Whatever it is.
The jalapeno ranch.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It is that has been. I think we ended up getting chicken and steak fajitas, and we enjoyed it as a family. I do a lot of grilling. My wife is an amazing cook. And so we eat at home a lot, but that's probably my takeout to go order, especially during all this that has brought some joy. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
That's good.
I love it.
Good. All right. So what are you reading right now? I know you've been reading a lot.
Yeah. I just started Tell Someone by Greg Laurie. He is a very well-known pastor. I try to, how do I think outside the box? So like I'm Southern Baptist, but I try to learn and read from other people, maybe from other denominations, even people that aren't from here. Just even for me living in Tennessee, I feel sometimes like an outsider, a fish out of water, because I'm from the New Orleans, South Louisiana area. And so it's a different world here. So for me to reach people, I think I need to know kind of like a lot of background. So I try to read a lot of different people. And honestly, after listening to the presidential podcast, like I want to start reading some biographies of different presidents, because it's been pretty intriguing.
That's cool.
Nice.
Okay, so they decide to make a movie of your life. Who plays you?
I look so much like Brad Pitt, right?
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In all honesty, when I used to be a bread man, I used to have this like brown shirt, button-up shirt with brown shorts, and everybody used to pick on me, and they said I favored Kevin James, and even my son will pick on me all the time. So honestly, if somebody had to do a movie about me, it would be Kevin James.
I love it.
Nice.
I love it.
Good.
Dude, that's good stuff. Man, well, thank you so much for being on with us today. This was a pleasure and blast. I appreciate you. I know we had some scheduling conflicts, so I appreciate you fitting us into your schedule. I know you've got a lot of other stuff to do, but man, you're a blessing to us, and I know you're a blessing to others. So.
Yeah. Keep
sharing
Jesus everywhere you go, man.
Love and appreciate y'all, and y'all keep doing what you're doing. And
cool.
Thank y'all. I appreciate this. Bye.
Thanks, man. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
So that was Jay Barbier. Awesome guy.
Yes,
I know you guys would love him. He's fantastic. Tomorrow we have another fantastic person who we're going to get to speak with, Becky Biermeyer, who is a storyteller, and she has an amazing YouTube channel. She's got the best stories. I think you're going to dig her a lot.
Yep.
And we should have another farm story from Jennifer Dake. So
fantastic.
If you're enjoying those, be sure to.
I know we've got a lot of people saying that they're really enjoying that, so be sure to tune in
helps.
for that.
That helps.
Yeah.
Check, make sure. Yeah. Okay. Checked off. Cool. Oh no, he's still there. All right. Awesome. Cool. So any other last thoughts?
Go back to the.
Oh, that one. Hi.
Hi there. Yeah. No, that was so great. I've had such a good time. And one final thing, just a reminder, happy birthday, David.
Thanks, darling.
Yeah.
You're the sweetest.
You get to make all the decisions today.
Oh, yay. I love making decisions. That's my favorite.
I get a feeling it's going to involve some kind of Mexican
There
food.
will be Mexican food and cake.
And cake.
Cake is my thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... Thank you to everybody who sent him birthday wishes already.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
We appreciate it.
And just real quick, Michael Laws, Clark Aldridge, Mary Prince, Bentley Burns, we said hi to you. Thank you guys all for showing up. And all those of you who didn't say something, we say hi to you anyway.
Yes.
All right. Well, we will be back tomorrow with more coffee chat goodness.
Yeah.
Same time. Becky. And she's going to be awesome. And Jennifer and... Who knows what else we might throw into the mix. That's right.
Does that mean as much at the moment?
Fridays?
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is for me, they mean that we're a day closer to pancakes because we do pancakes on Saturday. That's all I know. I like cake. All right.
He does. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And be sure to wish your happy birthday to the birthday boy. Have a great day. And we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.